Alright, so my video like a week ago or so said I was going to review some other cool stuff. This is what I've got. It is a Defender 90, as many of you probably know, and it's not mine, obviously. It's my friend's parents, and it is one of the great classics of the world, and they are appreciating, unlike my car, and I'm super hyped to find out what it's like. Unfortunately, not able to drive it, but you know, you can find a driving video of this thing anywhere. So yeah, let's get on to the aftermarket stuff before we get into any of the actual features that came on the car. Okay, so we're gonna start with everything that's aftermarket. Like I said, first thing you'll notice is this up here. It's a tent, and it was custom installed by the people who own this Defender. And then we have this roll cage here, also custom. Now this is a soft top Defender 90. This isn't the original soft top though. It was made by some other people. Yeah, that's the original. That's the aftermarket stuff on the side here. Now if we come around to the back, you will see that there's a lot, like these jerry can holders, also stock, not stock, my bad. This up here is a jack, and then we have a bunch of custom stuff on the inside as well, but we'll get onto that later. So obviously you have the Land Rover badge here that shows like that's the Defender 90. Its number there, it's 960. That's almost 920. And this city, I'd assume, yeah. And yeah, it's just a whole good time in the Land Rover world. So yeah, that's that. All right, so next aftermarket thing, we have these lights here. Unfortunately, that one's cracked, and you can see the wires where they previously were, but there's no 3 lights up there anymore, so that's a thing. Also, while we're out here, I want to show you that here is a fake vent, but over here, this vent over here actually has holes. Not sure if it's functional or just for design, but something neat anyways. So yeah, now we'll get into other features in the back. Okay, so we're gonna start with the back here. Spare tire, just like a Jeep Wrangler, but you know, nothing out of the ordinary. If we open this up here, there is stuff out of the ordinary, because you got more custom stuff in here. This lifts up through hydraulics and stuff, and usually, according to the owner, here would go a mini fridge, and this shelf would go over top of it or something. And in there, if you look real closely, you'll see that there is indeed custom electrical systems, and that's really cool. I would never think to do that. And yeah, pretty much the rest of it's pretty much all just stock. It's just stock stuff. I mean, but this whole system's really neat. There's a shelf up there for holding sleeping bags and stuff. And yeah, just getting the whole Land Rover experience plus more with all these custom mods. And it's been designed well. So now we will move up to the inside. Okay, I know I said we were moving on the inside, but that's here in a second. Actually, first I want to show you how the door opens. It's this door handle here, and it doesn't pull open or anything. It's not like a strap, it's solid metal. You have to pull it open with decent strength, and then wait for the latch to click. It clicks a long way back, and then you're inside your Land Rover. Alright, so first thing on the inside is the windows. No power stuff, obviously. There's not even heat in this car. No power windows, no crank windows, but instead you have to use this thing to unlock and lock. Down positions lock, up position is, wait, no, it's the other way around. Up positions lock, down positions unlock. And then you can just grab them and slide them in every which direction you want. Except this is hard to close. I've noticed this front one's harder to close, or harder to operate than this back one here. But yeah, you can operate both of them, get that McDonald's drive-through experience with sliding glass windows. And yeah, so that's the windows. Next I want to discuss how these are just like you would think, because this car was made in 97 and doesn't have a heater. So like this is pretty blank, obviously. But just a little rant here, but you'd expect new cars to be better, but a lot of new cars have that same visor, which is awful. And yeah, so that's the windows and the visor. So now we're going to move on to the whole situation here. So obviously, like I said, no heater, just cold AC, 3 levels of it. And the vents are really kind of weird, because like you just have them on the bottom here. You don't have them up here. You don't have them on the ceiling. You don't have them like 14 different places like your mom's SUV does. And yeah, you just have them there. And speaking of vents, you got this vent here, which you pull like this, and then you can drop and then push back in, which I just now realized. And that drops vents in the front of the car, so airflow can come directly through for your cooling pleasure, even though you have the best AC in the world, clearly. And yeah, we'll demonstrate what that looks like here. Okay, so I should probably mention these 3 switches here. They would control the outside lights normally, but obviously those aren't installed as I showed you earlier. And we can take a closer look at the vents now, since I am the camera holder. It's just knobs like that from like a 1997 Land Rover Defender. And cigarette lighter, looks like it has a ghost coming out of it. Just pretty normal, just like my car has for some reason. And you get your ashtray up here, or what they use it for, coin holder. Very convenient, actually. You get a little clock here. I don't know if it's the right time. Is it actually whatever no, there's no way it's that time, actually. That says it's 4:20. I got here at 4:30. Hazard button, not red. And then you got your vent switch here, as I said before. Down here, you get your 4-wheel drive system, and your diff lock, of course, because this wasn't meant for off-roady type situations, military focused vehicle. And so yeah, you get that normal gear lever, and you get this, which was custom installed, and it has Bluetooth. First Land Rover Defender ever to have Bluetooth. And yeah, so that's all of that. And the windshield wipers are incredibly small. That's my hand. And yeah, other than that, that's pretty much everything for this side of the pond, other than the seat controls, which is just a normal lever, but I don't need to show you that. So also, storage space in here, I should add, is quite limited, but very open, I should admit. Don't put in your hot food here if you have those vents down, because it'll just instantly get cooled off when you're driving along. So yeah, that's everything on this side of the pond. Alright, so now we have the dashboard, and one thing I was really surprised about is it has an electric odometer showing your miles. And this Land Rover only has 87,000 miles anyway, or something like that. And yeah, so that's something I was very surprised about. Something I was also kind of surprised about is how Land Rover put no effort into hiding all your emergency lights. Because usually cars will try and integrate them into the dashboard like mine or any other normal car. But Land Rover just lets you see what can go wrong with your car when it goes wrong. And yeah, it's pretty much... I like how they took pride over the speed gauge, over the RPM gauge, so you can know how fast you're going in your 70 horsepower Land Rover, over how many RPMs you're doing, going over like mud or something, I don't know. But yeah, so that's the dashboard and everything. And now we're gonna move downwards a little to the pedals. You can see that they're very small down there, and I'm very surprised because that brake pedal, when we hit like 60k miles in our old car, our brake pedal was worn down. I am super surprised this one is not. Maybe it's been replaced. I don't know. But yeah, just there. Gas pedals extremely small. That's my hand. I could press that thing and like gorilla grip it with my hand. But yeah. Now we are going to take a look at the engine. Alright, so now we're going to take a look at the engine. Oh goodness. This lock. Hello. There we go. That's very convenient, actually. My car's lights have come on for some reason. But this is very convenient here. I very much like this design. Instead of having to flip your own thing up, you just push this in if you're in a hurry to open your hood for some reason. And here's the engine, the terrible engine that everyone talks about, the 70 horsepower, 4-liter V8 that dies every day. And yeah, the engine is, oh man, there's so much to talk about with engine reliability on this thing, but we're not going to get into it. So yeah, so that's the engine. We're going to close the hood now, and that requires a procedure and a half, I think. Maybe, I think it's getting caught in something, maybe. Hello. I can't tell, this is my first time. Just from like here, I think. And that's how you close it, because apparently you can't push it down. And yes, that was very loud. Alright, so sorry if this video wasn't as long as my other Audi video. I have no clue how long this video is going to be. It could be 30 hours, who knows. But this was a video with the Land Rover Defender 90. I was hyped to film this. I was hyped to even see it in person up this close. And we did it. So hopefully this meets your satisfaction of having to wait so long. And yeah, I enjoy doing videos like this. I might get a ton more cars to film if my friends will let me, because that's what I'm going off of here when I film other people's cars. I'm just using my friends' cars because, you know, I don't have anywhere else to go yet. So yeah, hope y'all enjoyed the video. I will definitely have more stuff coming out like this, and yeah, please subscribe and hit that notifications. See ya.